Right. Hi everyone. Let's talk today about personality characters. This is something what is very important to understand where you are choosing your career. The thing is, how often did you feel that at some point you need to fight way too much during your work and during your career? How often have you to feel that you are going against the flow? In many cases, or at some points, it's actually dictated by your personality and your character. And basically, a composition of your personal abilities might simplify your career path or might make it a little bit more complex with more obstacles. And when you try to understand your personality, there is quite good start can be made with Myers Briggs test. It actually simplifies at some point the understanding because it classifies individuals into different types. Right now it's around 16 different types, which is based on extraversion or introversion, like sensing or intuition, thinking or feeling, and of course judging or pursuing. Out of these 16 types, there are 4 dominants, like sensing or intuition, thinking and feeling. About each of them a little bit. Like if you're sensing dominant, or if you have sensing dominant, this is basically someone who in most cases relying on 5 senses to interpret new information and to gather this new information. And basically sensing individual is someone who is focusing on details of a situation and when making decisions. And basically this is something what they're using to understand the world around them. When you have intuition or intuitive dominant, in this case you're gonna focus much more on patterns about the situation and about the future possibilities that this information presents. So which means that you'll focus less on the facts and you'll focus more on how these facts are related to the abstract ideas which you bear. Thinking dominant is, or thinking personality is someone who will prefer to wait and logically consider options which are available and trying to find out the most reasonable solution based on the information which was gathered. Feeling dominant or feelers, these people are typically aware about not only their feelings but also about feelings around people. So about the emotions of the people around them. And when they're making decisions, they usually thinking about consequences from the decision and how their decision might affect people around them and people who are involved in these decisions. And of course, what else you need to consider? Character traits, there's a lot of different ones, but that one which I can imagine, for example, how much ambitious you are. Ambitious person is the person who has a strong desire to achieve the goal. Or how much creative you are. A creative person can build up something from nothing or identify pretty much unusual things in generic. How much compassionate you are. A compassionate person can help people around or to the colleague to bypass a complex situation or difficult situation. Then flexibility. How flexible and quickly you can adapt to the changes around you, to the plans or to environment which is changing. Then curious, how much curious you are and how open you are for learning new skills, understanding what is behind the scene, and in most cases curious person gonna learn before you actually ask for that or without asking beforehand. Honest. For example, how honest person, a truthful person might not feel comfortable in the environment where there is deceptive practices happening. And for example, honest person or truthful persons fit pretty well in the environments like healthcare, maybe insurances and around that. How much persistent you are, for example. like persistent person have persistence in work, so they are like quite constantly achieving their goals, like they are bypassing obstacles, like step by step basically, and so on. There's a lot of different character traits, but this is what, like, in my opinion, like, or what is appearing in my mind immediately. Then skill sets and abilities they're mainly dictated by the character traits, and it's just a different angle of the character traits. For example, like what do you like more, what you prefer more, like mathematics or physics, like chemistry or literature or philosophy. So it's basically all of us have different abilities and we have a different skill sets, and this is something you need to consider. So it's just based on your character, but just slightly different thing. Then what you understand in general better, like what you catch easier and faster. Then also which type of the mindset you have, like growth mindset, which means that you actually focus more on the development, you're building your own, or if you have a fixed mindset. Fixed mindset means that, for example, you have, or you assume that everything's predetermined, like when you just was born, then you have particular sets of the abilities, and this is like where you assume that your start point here and end point here as well.